The true map of Africa over the territories of so-called global powers, the entire mythology of Western dominance collapses like a paper empire. Here stands the uncontested geographical giant of our planet, Africa's 30.4 million square kilometers swallowing nearly all of China, 9.6 million square kilometers, the contiguous United States, 8.1 million square kilometers, India, 3.3 m, and Western Europe, 4.9 million square kilometers, combined with room still left for Japan, while the much feared Russia that appears as an unstoppable behemoth on distorted Mercator maps fits entirely within Africa's borders with 7 million square kilometers to spare, and tiny Greenland that Eurocentric cartographers inflated to look larger than the entire African continent could be dropped into the Democratic Republic of Congo alone and still leave space for Germany. These are not minor cartographic corrections but earth-shattering revelations that destroy the visual propaganda justifying centuries of exploitation, proving the so-called great powers have been living in Africa's shadow all along, their perceived size as fabricated as their claims of racial superiority. But Africa's true power extends far beyond mere landmass. This is the continent that holds 30% of the world's mineral reserves, including 90% of its platinum, 60% of its cobalt, 40% of its gold, and the largest deposits of uranium, diamonds, and rare earth elements essential for every modern technology. The soil that grows 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land capable of feeding the planet while containing 15% of its remaining oil reserves, and the mighty Congo River that could power all of sub-Saharan Africa if harnessed, making Western energy crises look trivial by comparison. Demographically, Africa's 1.4 billion people, the youngest population on Earth with 70% under 30, represent not just the future workforce but the coming cultural tsunami as black skin becomes the global majority phenotype by 2100. Our melanin-rich genetics containing evolutionary advantages from superior UV protection to enhanced vitamin D synthesis that make pale skin look like the biological vulnerability it truly is, while Western nations face demographic collapse with aging white populations shrinking below replacement levels. The numbers tell the undeniable truth: Africa has the land to house the world, the resources to power it, the food to feed it, and the youth to reinvent it, while Europe and America cling to outdated maps and outdated ideologies that can't change the coming reality. The 21st century belongs to the continent they tried to shrink on paper but which now rises in truth, its cities becoming the new global capitals, its languages the new lingua franca, its cultures the new mainstream, and its people finally standing upright, unshackled from the mental colonialism that made us view ourselves through the eyes of those who feared our true size, our true wealth, our true power. The map is being redrawn, not on paper this time, but in the global balance of power where Africa is no longer begging for a seat at the table but building its own table large enough to fit the whole world, at full scale, without distortion, without apology, without compromise.